Good morning and welcome back to Other Worlds Wednesday on Gaming with ADHD. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the Starfinder role-playing game offering from Humble Bundle, the contents that are available in the different tiers, and I'll let you know what I think of their value and whether I personally think it's worth it. Now, obviously, it's up to you to decide for yourself whether you think it's going to be a good value, but I thought it would be at least a good idea to get a better breakdown of what actually comes in the bundle, and that way you can decide for yourself. Now, before we get started, I would appreciate if you went ahead and subscribed to the channel. If you like what I'm doing, I'm always trying to find interesting content from my collection of games, and I'd love to share it with you. Also, if you aren't quite sure what Humble Bundle is, I did a video about it and another bundle site that I like to use, and I'll have a link to that video in the description. So check that out after you watch this one. So currently on humblebundle.com, there is a books bundle for the Starfinder role-playing game by Paizo Publishing. Now, on my screen, it does say that there is 16 days left. That was when I was preparing these slides, and that was yesterday. So at this point, it's probably about 15 or 14 days left. But you do have a little bit of time to decide if it's something that you want to do. Now, I have done bundles from Humble Bundle in the past from Paizo, and I was pretty happy with the contents. So let's look at this one, and we'll see what we get. Now, just as a quick recap, Humble Bundle is a site that partners with publishers and charities. Paizo is partnering with Comic Books for Kids for this particular bundle. Comic Books for Kids has one mission. It is to provide kid-friendly comic books and coloring books to children and teens in hospitals and cancer centers across North America. In all cases, we work with the medical facilities' infectious disease policies to ensure hospital compliance, as each shipment is custom to them. There are more details on the Humble Bundle website, but I just thought you would like to get an idea of who they are partnering with for this particular charity. And again, you make your decision. There are 4 different tiers in this particular bundle. Each tier allows you to adjust how much you give to the publisher, the charity, and also a cut to Humble Bundle. Now, Humble Bundle did change this slider system that they've been using pretty much since their inception, I believe. It used to be that you could either donate all of it to the publisher, all of it to the charity, or all of it to Humble Bundle. They changed it so that Humble Bundle, no matter what, is going to get a cut. Some people aren't happy with that, but in my personal opinion, I understand why they do it. Humble Bundle does host a lot of the content on their servers, and for an extended period of time. I have multiple bundles that I have purchased from them, and I go back to Humble Bundle if I want to download it again. So there are costs associated with hosting that content, so I do understand why they want to make sure that they do get some kind of a cut. But if that concerns you, obviously that's going to affect your decision. Now, another thing to keep in mind, as the tiers go up in price, it does include the content from the lower tiers. So when you start at tier 1, you're going to get a certain amount of product. When you go to tier 2, you'll get the tier 1 product plus extra, and on and on and on. So for the $5 tier for this, you're going to get 12 items. All of them are PDFs. There are no physical products in this tier. And you're going to get the Starfinder core rulebook, the player character folio, the first contact product, the Skittershot adventure, 3 Starfinder Society scenarios, 1 adventure path adventure, and 4 flip mats. This is, in and of itself, is a pretty good deal. The core rulebook and the character folio run about $10 each. Just for those two products alone. So right there, you can tell that you're already saving money. One thing I don't like is the first contact product. I don't disapprove of it because of the fact that it's a free product that they're adding into the bundle. The issue I have there is that First Contact was sort of like a preview item that they put out when the game had not yet been released. It was the free RPG Day product for that year. So it was just to give people a taste of what the game is. And at this point, either you know what Starfinder is, or if you're getting this bundle, you're getting the core rulebook, you're getting, some adventures. The Skittershot adventure is another free RPG Day product, but it is an intro adventure. So that one I don't have any issues with them adding. But I'm not quite sure about the First Contact product. So with that being said, all of this, if you look at just the regular PDF prices on the Paizo website, does come out to about a $92.40 value. So you pay $5 and you get all of this stuff. Now, when we go up to the next tier, it's $15. You're going to get 25 items, and again, all of them are PDFs. There are no physical products in this tier. And they're going to then add the Alien Archive. So Alien Archives are essentially the bestiaries for Starfinder. But because it's a science fiction setting, there are actually a lot of playable races. Alien Archive is also a great book because it does give you rules for creating your own alien race. So, that, the GM screen, another Skitter adventure, which again, free RPG Day. So it was a free product, but again, I don't mind for a full adventure. You get more Starfinder Society scenarios, 2 more adventure paths, and 5 flip mats. 3 of them from Starfinder and 2 of them from Pathfinder. You're paying an additional $10. But the total value of this is $225.78 if you were to buy everything off of the Paizo website in PDF. So, in my case, I didn't have any of this. I had the free products, but that was it. On the $5 tier, I had the core rulebook, but I didn't have anything else. So already it's turning out to be, a pretty good deal for a beginner to the setting. All right, for our third tier, we're going up to $30. Now, this is where you basically get all of the products. There is one other tier, but I'll get into that. It only has a couple of add-ons, but you'll understand why I say that the $30 tier has everything. So total of 36 items, so it's adding 11 more. And you're going to get the PDF for the beginner box, the Packed Worlds, basically, which is the setting book. So sort of like your Forgotten Realms or your Eberron, something like that. Another free RPG Day adventure, more Starfinder Society scenarios, the remaining 3 chapters of the Dawn of Flames adventure path, and 3 more flip mats, 2 Starfinder, 1 Pathfinder. Now, this is, for an extra $15, this, to me, the best part about this is the fact that you do get the rest of the adventure path. So you get all 6 chapters. The beginner box, I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to like the PDF version of this, but when we look at the next tier, you'll understand. The Packed Worlds, I already purchased that in PDF, so it was a little bit of a disappointment here. But overall, I do still think it's a really good deal, especially when you consider you're getting about 10 times the value in the content. So the total value of this tier is $335.68. All right, for the last tier, it jumps from $30 to $50, which is also a little bit of, I don't want to call it a deception, but it's just the way that they're going, or that they're splitting the costs. I do understand it. It's just one of those things that you do also have to keep in mind. They do warn you on the website, but the $50 tier is for all of the previous items, but you're then going to get a physical beginner box, okay, which that's a $40 value on its own, and the Packed Worlds hardcover book, which is a $45 book. So we're essentially adding another $85 worth of product to the PDFs that you've already received. Now, these are the only 2 physical items that you will receive. I'm actually pretty excited to get the beginner box. I was looking over the contents of it. You get a basic player's manual, a basic game master's manual. But when I say basic, you're still getting a lot of good material. The character manual actually gives you all of the rules to build characters. Now, it's going to have less of the feats, less of the skills, less of the classes, races. So everything is reduced as far as what you receive. But you can either play with pre-generated characters or you can make your own. So they actually give you a lot of flexibility in that box. And then Packed Worlds, I was a little disappointed in it because when I first saw that they were going to release this bundle, I thought it was the core rulebook in hardcover, so I was super excited about that. And then it wasn't. And so I was a little bummed, but I still thought it was a good deal, so I went ahead and I grabbed it. I've been reading my books a lot more in PDF lately, but sometimes it's nice to just have a physical book that you can pull out and look at. Now, that does bring it to about a $420.66 value. They said on the website $422, but, it's within the margin. I don't care. Not a big deal. Now, with the physical products, shipping is not included. For me, I'm located in Arizona. Paizo is in Washington. And when I went to check out and have the items shipped, it was about another $15 that I had to spend on top of what I paid at Humble Bundle in order to get the physical products shipped. I totally get that. It's shipping costs. It's not fair, especially when they are doing this to raise money for charity, also for Paizo to get some out of it. But they're giving you $420 worth of product for, at least in my case, about $65. I did speak to, or comment on Reddit with a couple of people about this, and one guy ended up getting it shipped to, I believe it was Malaysia, so he was paying another $80 on top of this. So again, you have to keep that in mind. Depending on where you're at, this shipping is coming from Paizo in the United States. So, keep that in mind when, you're trying to figure out whether you want to do the physical option, because it may just make it cost prohibitive, whereas PDFs don't cost anything to deliver. So, there is that. So, for the value, by the numbers, absolutely, I think it is a great value. You cannot argue with the fact that you spend $50 and get about $420 worth of product. But by the content, it's going to depend on the individual player. For the content, just based on tier 3, so all PDFs, you do get the beginner box, you get the core rulebook, you get the Packed Worlds book, and you get Alien Archive #1. So you get the core rules, the setting book, and the bestiary book. If you think about it, essentially that's your player's handbook, your dungeon master's guide, and your monster manual. So that's really all you need to run a game of Dungeons and Dragons. It's really all you need to run a game of Starfinder, especially since it does give you rules for creating your own aliens. They then also give you the Dawn of Flame adventure path, all 6 chapters. Now, from my understanding, because I have not read through all of it, the adventure paths do also include a lot of additional information. Races, monsters, starships, cities, a lot of material that you can use even outside of the adventure path. So, again, my discussions online, I was a bit hesitant on getting this bundle. So talking to people about it and seeing what they liked, what they thought was good about it, they kept talking about the adventure path because of the fact that, it does give you all of that extra, player material, dungeon master material that can be used outside of the adventure. And so, I think that's a good addition. They do also give you 8 Starfinder Society scenarios, so that's their organized play format. If you are interested in that, then you get a taste of what Starfinder Society is like. You do get the 3 free RPG Day adventures. Now, some people were complaining. They felt that was basically them padding it so it looks like a bigger bundle. I do agree with that to a point, but especially because the bundle is aimed at newer players, I don't think including those is a bad idea. I remember that I purchased the Starfinder core rulebook when it launched 3 or 4 years ago. But I didn't know that the free RPG Day modules were made available on their website. So I only found them, say, a month or 2 ago. So for a new player, I think it is great that they include those because they are geared towards new players, giving people a taste of the setting, and what they have available. And so to just include it in the bundle, automatically available for download, I do think that is still a good idea, even if it does, pad the bundle a little bit so it looks a little bigger. The 12 flip mats. Now, this I'm a little mixed on. If you're going to use something like Roll20 or another tabletop simulator version of your gaming table, they're pretty good because they're digital. If you want something printed and physical, obviously having a digital version of a map, you can go and get it printed out, but that can be a bit cost prohibitive. So I mixed on those, but I understand what they're doing. So, not the greatest addition, but I don't think it's bad. And then you do also get a couple of accessories. You get the GM screen and you get the character folio. Those, again, I mixed on, especially in a digital format. Usually those I would prefer to purchase physically, but that's me. So what do I think was good? I do think it's great that they focused on core content for the bundle. Rule settings and races. They give you lots of adventure content. Now, they give you the beginner box, 3 intro adventures, a full adventure path, and what I'm calling the Starfinder Society sampler. So, if you don't want to make your own adventures, there you go. As far as bad, I mean, it can be very subjective. If you're not a fan of pre-made adventures, honestly, I don't think the bundle is for you because most of your value is coming from the well, not most of it, but a lot of your value is coming from the adventure path, which even in just PDF format is about $90 worth of product. Actually, maybe more than that. The other scenarios are about $6 to $10 each, not counting the free ones. So if you don't want to use pre-made adventures, then you're not going to find a lot of utility out of this bundle. I said now most adventures are from the Starfinder Society. If you're not going to do organized play, those can be mixed. But it's even with that, most of them are from season 1 and season 2. So I'm not sure if they necessarily count towards organized play. I will be honest, I know very little about Starfinder Society outside of the fact that it's organized play and they participate in it. So, but one of them that they include is the first scenario for season 4. So do keep that in mind. Best part about that, it is included at the $5 tier. I think if they're going to sell Starfinder Society, I do like that they included the current season at the very basic level. So even if you're just going to pay the $5. Also, in my experience, I don't think Paizo has the best shipping rates. They're not horrible. When I went through the checkout process, I thought it was going to be more than it was. But I was able to actually look at the shipping options and find one a little bit cheaper. But like I said, it was still about $16, $15 or $16. So, again, keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be shipping this internationally. All right, so final thoughts. I think it is great for somebody that's new to Starfinder. I think it's great that they included a complete adventure path. Paizo has been doing these adventure paths for most of the last 20 years. First for Dungeons and Dragons, then for Pathfinder, and now for Starfinder. So they know what they're doing with these. I think it's a great deal, just on its own, because of the fact that it does give you the extra content plus the core rule books to go with it. And obviously, I bought it. So, if I didn't think it was going to be a good deal, I wouldn't have paid for it. But that's, the Starfinder, which I just realized this screen has the from the old slides. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of it. If you've got any questions, if you got the bundle, please put them down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. What would you have preferred to see in the bundle? What do you think shouldn't have been added? What kind of feedback would you give Paizo if you could about what to do if they're going to do these bundles again in the future? So, anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. And if you're not yet, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel and came along with what I'm covering. So, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.